What's going on, world? It's your main man, Kareem A. Rashid, the voice and your host of Clearing the Wreckage. Yes, we've got another great episode in store for you today. Once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be driving to work, but all I ask is please pay attention to the road. Or you could be at work on a lunch break trying to get a quick sneak peek into this episode. Please be sure to clock back in on time. Yes! Or you could be doing something that is very important, to me at least, and that is on the toilet. Please be sure to flush. Yes! I love it. I love it. I love it so much. My intro. I know you like it. Don't act like you don't. That's why you come back every single week. Because I'm silly. Yes, I am so silly. What's going on, my wreckage clearers? Wreckage clearing community. We are back with another great episode. I want to say thank you first and foremost for tuning in, for being loyal, for being faithful, and for being part of this community and coming back to me every single week to hear me rant and vent and whatever the case may be and just talk about all my wreckage. Oh, man. You guys really do love me. I truly appreciate all your support. I want to thank you if you're listening for the first time. Thank you for clicking on this podcast. If you want to know what Clearing the Wreckage really is all about, please go to that first episode. And what are we going to talk about today, Kareem? Well, you know, we just got together at our favorite coffee shop. You got your latte. I got my Americano. And you're like, what's up, Kareem? What you want to talk about today, man? How's it been? And I'm like, well, today I want to talk about something that is hard to talk about. And I need you to just listen to me, please, and just hear me out. I ask that your ears are open, your mind is open. And I just need your support today. And I just need a listening ear. And that's all. And you're like, all right, man. All right. I'm here. I'm here for you. Just share with me whatever it is that is on your heart and your mind. And then I'm like, okay, well, first I want to ask you some questions. Have you ever felt lonely? And you're like, yeah, man. Yeah, I felt lonely before. And then you're like, well, Kareem, I think everybody has felt lonely before. And I'm like, yep, everybody probably has. Have you ever felt like you will always be alone? Have you ever felt like no one will ever understand you? What about feeling like you deserve to be alone? Have you felt like you do not deserve happiness or anything good? Have you ever just said to yourself, man, I'll always be a failure. I'll never amount to anything good. I'll always be bad or do bad things. I'll never receive the approval of my family, of my dad, of my mom, of my employer, of anyone for that matter. I will always be looked at as a screw up, as someone who always messes up. Have you ever felt that way? Ever felt so much guilt? Have you felt unworthy of love? Have you felt deserving of punishment? Have you felt like giving up on life completely, where you just feel like it's no use, my life will always be this way, I'm better off dead, and people are better off without me here because I always screw everything up. Do you often maybe think about all the mistakes you have made in life? Do you tend to take responsibility for things that may not have had anything to do with you, or you have no control over? Do you feel that you are to blame for even if someone is mad? What about like a failure? You feel that way? Like you do not deserve for anything good to happen, only bad things, worthless, hopeless. Well, you are not alone. I am here with you, and I'm here to reassure you and validate your feelings today. And I'm here to let you know that you're allowed to feel, because I've felt all of those feelings. Every one of those feelings, sometimes simultaneously. I've felt a lot of them. I'm here to tell you that you're allowed to feel, and it is okay to not be okay. I felt this way throughout my life sometimes, and the reason being is because I have depression. I have major depressive disorder, which is also known as clinical depression. And I did not realize this until I went to see a psychiatrist. I explained this in a previous episode, maybe episode 14, I think, where I discuss my diagnosis about when I talked about PTSD and how I was diagnosed with that. But I was also diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Then later, I started seeing a psychologist who has been such a great counselor and has been providing me treatments such as cognitive behavioral therapy. And this was way back in like 2012, 2013, that part of my story. I'm so glad that you have been with me all the way up till this part of my story, and all the way up a part of this journey, I should just say. That's a little bit better. Excuse me, I'm a little bit tongue twisted. I'm so glad that you have been with me. And so you heard the last episode where we talked about the victim mentality. Well, I am including depression into the whole journey because before I'm not going to say before I became a victim. I was always having that mentality. Anyway, depression was part of all of this. All the way from freaking episode 21 to episode 28. For the past 7 episodes, we've been discussing partially depression, if you haven't figured that out yet. And that's what we're going to discuss today. The title of the episode is Depression is Real, and I'm depressed. Yeah. And we have discussed this already. I've hit certain areas of it, but I never said that word specifically, depression. I've said sad, or, I was feeling broken, or I was feeling alone. I was feeling like I don't deserve anything good. I was feeling unworthy. I shared with you all the symptoms and all the feelings that I was feeling. Yeah. And how I'll never amount to anything. I will never be perfect. All those things I was sharing with you. I'll never be perfect. I want to be. I never will be. And we talked about how I felt unworthy of love. All these feelings were included all the way from episode 21 to 28. Yep. Well, today I'm going to share a little bit more with you about major depressive disorder, which is also known as clinical depression. And I'm going to take you through that journey of when it really hit me. And so let's begin. Again, I want to give a disclaimer that this episode may contain content that may trigger you. I am not trying to send you into fight, flight, or freeze mode whatsoever. If that happens, I apologize in advance. That is not my intentions. Anyone that is mentioned in this episode, I am not defaming their character. I'm not discrediting them or dishonoring them whatsoever. I am here to simply share my story and my journey with you. I am someone that has depression. I am not someone that is getting on a podcast, just starting a podcast and saying, I'm going to talk to the world about all these mental health issues that I've never experienced. No. Depression is real and I've experienced it. And so you will hear real life from me. I am not that person. Please do not confuse me for that person. I am not that person. I will always keep it real with you. I am sharing this with you because it is something that I have been through. And not only that, I know that my people that are listening to me every single week, there are some of you who have depression like me. And I want you to know that you're not alone. I just want you to know that full well and reassure you and give you comfort that I am here with you. I am not on a pedestal. I am not on a throne. I am not graduated from life. I am right here with you. I want to hold your hand. I want to walk with you as you walk with me on the journey of personal growth and development. And I want us to clear the wreckage together. Together. As one. For those that do have depression, you know all of the things that I'm about to share. For those of you who do not have depression, I'm going to share some things that may open your eyes. And I hope it does. I really hope it does, so that you listen to this episode and you have a friend or a family member that has depression, you will know what the symptoms are and you will know how to be there for them. So I did research on something that I already have and something that I already know. I didn't have to do research. I could have just talked about this just from my own experience, which I am talking from my experience, and I will continue to talk from my experience, but I did this research so that we are all aware of what exactly it is, okay? So we can have some facts involved as well. Major depressive disorder, also known as clinical depression, is a mood disorder. It is a mood disorder. It is characterized by prolonged periods of sadness and loss of interest or pleasure in activity. It significantly impacts a person's thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and physical well-being. Here are some of the symptoms: feelings of sadness, emptiness, or hopelessness; irritability or frustration; feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt. We can stop right there and talk about my excessive guilt, my feelings of worthlessness, how I felt that way off and on all of my life. Everybody has left me. Nobody wants me. My parents have gotten divorced. It must be my fault. I deserve to be punished. I'm worth not sticking around for. Shall I go on? Behavioral symptoms that come with it is loss of interest or pleasure in most or all activities, withdrawal from social interactions, changes in sleep patterns, insomnia or hypersomnia. Insomnia would be not sleeping. Hypersomnia would be sleeping too much. There's cognitive symptoms, which include difficulty thinking, concentrating, or making decisions, and even memory problems. Physical symptoms include fatigue, lack of energy, unexplained aches, pains. Severe symptoms could be recurrent thoughts of death, suicide, suicidal ideation, or suicidal attempts. All right? I want you to know this. Depression is not the same as temporary sadness or grief. In grief, feelings of sadness comes in waves and may be interspersed with positive memories, while in depression, mood and or interest is consistently decreased for weeks. Here are some of the causes or things that can contribute to major depressive disorder or clinical depression. They're one and the same. One of the causes or contributions could be genetics. There could be a family history of depression that increases the risk. Brain chemistry, which is imbalances in neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, may also play a role. When I went to see my psychiatrist, that's exactly what he told me. You have chemical imbalances in your brain. You do not have enough serotonin or dopamine flowing in there to help you think balance, to help you not be all the way over here into pessimism. They will give you some type of balance if you take this medication. So let me prescribe this for you. Yes. So thankful I went to see a psychiatrist. I got snot running all down my nose, y'all. I'm sorry. This episode is really hard. It just, when I talk about stuff like this, and here I am apologizing. I'm placing self-blame upon myself. That's one of the symptoms of depression, by the way. Blaming myself for everything. So I'm not apologizing that I'm getting emotional. So scratch the fact that I apologized. And for my men out there, stop apologizing for being emotional or for being in tune or in touch with your emotions. If you want to cry, cry. If you need to let it out, go right ahead. Because if you haven't noticed, I've been crying this whole episode. This whole conversation that I've been having with you, I've been crying, and I don't care. And I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. Yes, I'm still a man, not less of a man, because I'm shedding some tears, and because this is bringing up things, is bringing up emotions that I probably need to let out. Anyway, let's move on. Life events such as traumatic experiences, loss, major life changes, or chronic stress can trigger depression. Other health problems can trigger it, such as chronic illness, thyroid conditions, substance use and abuse, of course. Of course that can. Man, those are also linked to depression. Personality traits such as individuals with a low self-esteem, me, or a tendency towards only pessimism may be more vulnerable to depression. Great thing that there is treatment involved that we can find, that most individuals can find that relief through medication, psychotherapy, or a combination of both. Thank God that I went to a psychiatrist. Thank God that I went to see a psychologist right after that, after the suggestion from my psychiatrist. He said, now you need to go see a counselor or a psychologist to help you think better than the way that you think now, to help you deal with and manage your depression, your post-traumatic stress disorder, and your anxiety. So here are some things and ways that we can clear the wreckage. We can go to talk therapy, such as cognitive behavior therapy, which is the therapy that I am involved in. I've been involved in for 2013, 12 years now. It has helped me in so many ways. Interpersonal therapy also helps individuals identify and manage negative thought patterns, which is also what I'm doing with my therapist. We sit down with each other. It's personal, it's interpersonal. We talk and we discuss things, and she helps me identify and manage my negative thought patterns, my behaviors, and my relationship issues. I also want to share with you some other insight that I gained from some research, which things that I already know, but I'm going to go ahead and give you this insight. Feeling worthless or having excessive or inappropriate guilty feelings is a common symptom of MDD, major depressive disorder, or clinical depression. Research has identified feelings of worthlessness as a distinctive and consistent symptom of major depression across cultures. Studies also have found that feelings of inadequacy, me, ding, 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 including self-worthlessness, are a consistent feature of major depressive disorder. Research has further shown that worthlessness is strongly associated with hopelessness and self-blame in individuals with depression. Here is the deal. When someone has depression, they are already blaming themselves for having depression. It is already something that we blame ourselves even for being weak, even for having. We also blame ourselves. I'm talking first person. I also blame myself for almost every traumatic event that happened in my life. One event that triggered during this time of my life, at least, that the part of the journey that we're on, that I'm sharing about, is my ex-fiance leaving me. Now, we discussed that in all the other episodes. We discussed that in one of the episodes, right? And we discussed the fact that she did not leave me on purpose. It was more like she was taken away, and it happened very suddenly. But that triggered my depression because I even blamed myself. And here is how I blamed myself for her being taken away. I'm going to share it with you. Even though I had nothing to do with it, it wasn't my fault she was taken away. I still blamed myself. I still felt that excessive guilt that I just shared with you. Right? I just gave you the research on that. This is depression, folks. It's real. Here's how I blame myself. I was going to church every Sunday, but I was sleeping with her. And that is how I felt guilty, because while being told every single Sunday in church that sex before marriage, Kareem, is wrong. Sex before marriage is wrong. So I felt guilty. Maybe, just maybe, if we did not partake in sexual intercourse, she would not have been taken away from me. If I would have just waited till we got married, none of this wouldn't have happened. This is all my fault. Everything is my fault. Why people leave me, everything is my fault. That is how I felt, y'all. That's how I felt. Then another event that triggered me feeling that way or triggering my depression was my of course, when my manager gave me that evaluation and she told me that maybe you are the problem, not everyone else. Maybe you're the one with the problem. You know, you're sitting here saying everybody else is the problem. Maybe you're the one with the problem. And you know what that did? That triggered my depression. Because I've already been blaming myself and feeling guilty and feeling that I may be actually the root cause of everything that bad that happens. Maybe I am the problem. So this only validated my feelings of guilt that I already have been feeling that way off and on all my life. I'm a failure. I am a wreck. I'm a screw up. You're right. Yep. I deserve to be punished. I deserve it. I don't deserve happiness. I don't deserve anything good. Matter of fact, I don't even deserve this freaking promotion. Why you gave it to me then? If you're going to come down on me and tell me this, why did you give me this? Yes. And then another event, major life event that triggered my depression was my mentor, him passing away suddenly. I just shared that with you on the last episode. And that was really hard because he was not only my mentor, he became my brother, he became a father figure, he became my friend, my confidant, he became somebody that I was extremely close to. And not only was I able to get to see his life, I was a part of his life. I was able to see him go from, oh my God, being sober and clean. This is his story, and I'm going to share it with you. He was an alcoholic, okay? And he got sober and clean. That is when I started hanging out with him, when he was sober and clean, and he helped me by sharing his story with me. You already have that on episode 8. I would love for you to go back and listen to that episode after this one. And him sharing the story with me and telling me that he still received divorce papers from his wife at the time, even though he had cleaned up his act, she still left him. And he did not have a relationship with his kids due to his alcoholism. And being part of his life, being able to see this caterpillar, that's why this analogy is so great. Seeing this caterpillar come off the ground, be in its cocoon, and seeing him become a butterfly. Because a little bit later on in his journey of sobriety and recovery, he met this beautiful young lady, and he got married to her. I was the best man at his wedding, and his relationship with his kids was restored. He had the best relationship that he could ever have with his kids. And he had the best marriage, better than his first marriage that he could ever have. And he had amazing relationships with his friends and family that he could eat. I mean, you couldn't even imagine. He became a butterfly, and I got to see it right in front of me. But then I got to see him get taken away, or transitioning, I should say, and leaving this realm and going somewhere else. I still miss him today. He passed away December 21st of 2015. I'll never forget. But that threw me into a tailspin of more depression. I want to share a excerpt with you in my journal. of how I was feeling at the time. At a time in this story, at the time in this journey that I've been sharing with you, I was feeling very, very depressed. I was in my cocoon still. I did not receive my wings yet. And this is when my depression really hit, and I wrote how I was really feeling. I bought me something to drink on the way home. I feel as if I can't go on without drinking or getting high or even having sex. I don't want to feel all of this pain. I've been crying every single night. I'm so mad at you, God. Why did you take him away from me? Why did you? How come you took him away? How come you took my ex-fiance away from me? I don't have anyone. There is no one by my side. My friend did not come over, and I'm pissed at her that she called her mom, and her mom called my mom, and my mom came over to talk with me. If I go to therapy tomorrow, I'm hoping that I can get something accomplished. I'm hoping that I can find hope. Right now, I don't have any hope. There is nothing to hope for. I don't even know why I'm writing this. My life is stressful. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep all day. I don't want to deal with anything. I want to drink and get high. I feel hopeless. So that's an excerpt from my journal back in, what was the date? Let's see the date. February 9th, 2016, 11:01 p.m. That was the time frame on that. My mom came and she talked to me. I'll give you a little bit of that story. And you know what? I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to give you the whole story. I'm grateful that my mom did come to get me because at that time, yes, I was having recurrent thoughts of suicidal ideation, and I was about to attempt it. I had everything prepared to attempt it. I was ready to go because I had talked to my friend on the phone, and I had told her, I am about to leave this realm. I'm leaving Earth. And she, thank God, called her mom, and her mom called my mom. And then my mom just appeared to my house unannounced. And that was one of the time, folks, where I felt reassurance, validation, affirmation for one of the first times in my life from my mother. I truly felt love. She told me that I'm valued. She told me that I am needed. And she told me that I am wanted. And that is something I carry with me until this day, folks. I am needed, I am wanted, and I am valued. So here's how I clear the wreckage. Whenever I start getting into those feelings of, oh, I'm worthless and I'm inadequate and nobody wants me and everybody leaves me, I have to give myself compassion and I have to tell myself, you know what? That's not true. You are so valuable. You're so loved. You're so loved. You're so loved. And you are so needed. I have to tell myself that. I have to tell myself what's real, the truth. See, when you have depression, what it does, it bends your perception. It bends your thoughts. It's real, and it sucks because it's so mean to you. It's so mean to you, and you can't control it, and you just blame yourself for having this. And you don't understand why all these feelings are coming upon you. And you just want to sleep and not feel anything at all. And that, folks, is one of the reasons why I did escape toward alcohol and drugs again, because I couldn't take it. I could not take it. And I'm sharing this with you so that you who deal with depression can find other sources besides escaping to help manage your thoughts. Cognitive behavior therapy, interpersonal behavior therapy, talking to a therapist will help. Sometimes having a support system helps. Talking to friends, it helps. There are people out there that are just going to listen to you and support you, and they are just going to be a listening ear and let you know that they are here for you. And that is what my mom did, folks, that day. And I am so grateful that she did, because I am here today because of that. Yes, the feelings did not subside right away. When she left my house, I still was depressed. I still wanted to commit suicide. But I had to replace those thoughts. I had to keep fighting to go, nope, I'm wanted, I'm valued. My mom loves me. She just gave me a hug. She embraced me. She told me how much she loves me. My family loves me. People need me. I deserve goodness. I deserve happiness. I had to replace those thoughts. So with that being said, I want to share. So I just want you to know that this is real, and I want to share something with you so you can understand how real it is. I just want to share this with you so you can understand how real depression really is, because I am someone that went through it. So there's a poem that I wrote, and I just wrote it because I was feeling. Because people were saying things to me. Some people were saying things to me that they shouldn't have said. And sometimes people don't really know what to say when you're going through things like depression. So this episode is for you also. Don't come up to somebody and be like, just snap out of it. You should be feeling better by now, or you should or you shouldn't are words that you should not say. You shouldn't be feeling like this. Be grateful for what you have. These are things that you should not tell the person with depression. You should not say these to them, to this person. Why can't you just get over it? What's wrong with you? Please do not ever say anything like that. What you should say is, I'm here for you, and if you need anything, let me know. So here's a poem I wrote. And I'm going to be reading it, so it's going to sound like I'm reading it. And then, I'll see y'all next week after this, okay? And hopefully by then I'll have some wings, doggone it. And stick with me. Here's depression. I can't help it. Yes, it is in me. This is more than stress, because clinically I have been diagnosed to lose hope, and I feel helpless, restless, madness without a method to it. Screw it. I've got the blues, and I don't want to sing a song unless it's filled with sadness. Depression is not casual. It doesn't just happen or come from a lack of happiness. See, you wouldn't understand unless you have it. If you don't, then just listen. Keep your mouth shut. I don't want to hear opinions. Now what is it? Are you my psychiatrist and you know what's inside of this brain of mine and you can manage this? Well, excuse me, Your Highness, this is chemical imbalances. Let me school you and clue you in. There's not enough serotonin flowing in through the passages to reach the level of neurotoxin that I need. So please speak. Only if you're a doctor with a doctorate of science or my psychologist. Are you following? This topic can get slippery like a wet floor after mopping it. Caution, don't slip, but let's not tiptoe and try not to walk in it. No need to beat around the bush and the trees. Trust me, this does not come at ease to discuss. There's been abuse and mistrust, misuse, and a stigma of what depression really is. Listen, I'll tell you what it is not. It's not discouragement. It's more like despair, because when you're dealing with depression, you're feeling like no one cares. And you can tell me, hey, that's not true. That's not right. You should not feel that way. Well, when you say to me things such as that, it validates my state of being. So good luck with changing me, and explain to me, why are you trying to fix me? To be honest, with that frame of mind, it feels like you are against me. Instead of simply listening so you can get me and understand. Depression was never part of the plan. There's been lots of things that happened to me as a kid and as a man, and I can give you a little wisdom if you want to hear some, but my depression stems from fear of life, because I might just have to look myself in the mirror and switch on lights. You see what depression is like? Sleeping all through the night and day because you don't want to face what you look like on the inside, but I could smile on the outside and make you think I'm okay, but I'm broken and shattered to pieces, and I don't want to see it. Neither do I want you to discover what's true, because underneath this surface I'm hurting. And if you really knew, would you want anything to do with me? Because really, I'm a mess, and because of that, I'm depressed. So now there is a lack of self-care. Relax. Oh yeah, that would be great. If only I could think straight. If I could change it, I would. I hate it. It does not feel good. And moving on is not part of the plan, because when I'm depressed, it's hard for me to get out of bed and I just want to rest, but I'm still restless. These pills are not helping. I can't deal with it. I live with this and I wonder why this hand was dealt to me. I have fell to knees asking God, please, to relieve me of disorder. I need order. My world is sort of filled with chaos. Pause. I want to break free from these prison walls I hide behind many layers, and I really just want to peel them off. I feel so off balance. These chemicals won't release fast enough. I'm in misery. I need dopamine to travel up. This is chemistry. Give me a remedy. But bad identity, my enemy, cynically, how I see everything in my vicinity. This depression is killing me. Not willingly would I even put this pressure or these feelings in me. It's nonsensical. My mental is abused with a damaged brain. I can't handle the same issues that you may. You can say how you deal, but will that make me heal? And believe me when I say I don't want to feel this way. I could give two rat's turds if I'm taking off this earth today. I actually feel the urge to cut and watch myself bleed. Inflicting pain upon me is what I deserve. And truthfully, I just want to be heard. With depression, everything is blurred. And honestly, this part of me would rather just off myself, because death is permanent. When depression hits, I feel alone and deserted. And I'm sorry for expressing this, but I don't know how else to word this. I'm praying and hoping that you heard this clearly, because really, depression has got me feeling worthless. Thank you so much, y'all, for being here with me today. I do want to address one thing, that if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, please seek professional help. Please seek counseling. Please go exercise, go for a walk. Do something to change your mood. One of the things that I learned and how I'm clearing the wreckage is move a muscle, change a thought. If I start moving, I start walking or running or doing something to improve my mood, I feel a little bit better. It may be for a moment, but at least I feel better. And then I'm clearing the wreckage and I'm fighting and managing my depression. So I am with you again. I want you to be reassured by this episode. I hope it finds you well. I hope it gives you some comfort as well to know that you are not alone. And hopefully next week, doggone it, boy, you've been part of the journey. You'll see those beautiful wings come on out of that cocoon. I love y'all. Y'all are so awesome. Again, as I leave you all the time, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.